So let's start with the business model canvas that helps you to understand your business environment.
This is the business model canvas. It's just what Beth and Carl will need to craft a powerful business model, and it can do the same for you. Let's dive in and see how it works. There are 9 essential building blocks that make up any business model. When you get all 9 blocks working together, you'll have answered the fundamental questions any business model must solve. We'll start here with customer segments. These are all the people or organizations for which you're creating value. For each segment, you have a specific value proposition. These are the bundles of products and services that create value for your customers. Channels describe through which touchpoints you're interacting with customers and delivering value. The customer relationships outline the types of relationships you're establishing with your customers and how you're acquiring and retaining them. Pricing mechanisms through which your business model captures value are documented under revenue streams. The key resources show which assets are indispensable in your business model, so you can describe the infrastructure you need to create, deliver, and capture value. The key activities show which things you need to be able to perform well. The key partners show who can help you leverage your business model, since you won't own all key resources yourself, nor will you perform all key activities. And once you understand your business model's infrastructure, you'll also have an idea of its cost structure. Any business model can be mapped this way: 9 building blocks working to reinforce and strengthen each other. But before you make a model for yourself, it helps to see what a breakthrough business model looks like in action, like this one. Low-cost airlines revolutionized air travel thanks to their disruptive business model. Let's first look at their value proposition. A low-cost airline offers ultra-cheap flights to their main customer segment, budget travelers, by adopting a no-frills policy. And this leads to additional revenue streams, because customers pay for their ticket and additional fees on items like food and drink, priority boarding, and luggage. The airlines save even more money through their choice of channels, selling only through call centers and the internet, making for efficient, if not always convenient, customer relationships that are automated and often impersonal. Okay, that covers the right side of the canvas, the part everyone can see. The left side of the canvas is what's going on backstage. Like their choice of key resources, they reduce maintenance and training costs by using a single aircraft model for the whole fleet. And they only fly to cheap airports where it's cost efficient to land, or where they even get paid to touch down. Planes that do land have quick turnarounds, so they get back in the air earning money as quickly as possible. And they form key partnerships with others in the travel industry, like car rental, hotel, and insurance companies. Finally, under cost structures, all maintenance, training, airport, and call center costs are trimmed to their lowest levels. All of these pieces working together make their fares almost impossible for traditional airlines to compete with. There's nothing superior about these airlines except their business models. They're reaching an entirely new segment of travelers out of reach for traditional airlines. Cutting out costs is pretty exciting, right? But wait! Just because it's successful for discount airlines doesn't mean it will work for your idea. Luckily, the business model canvas allows you to iterate many models and test them quickly. Let's get started with your own business idea.
Don't forget from the video, this is the business model canvas. Let's have a closer look at the 9 fields it mentions. We should start filling in the business model canvas. The canvas allows you to frame a hypothesis, which you then test with customers until you get to the point in the validation process where you have enough feedback to go on building a minimum viable product. Start by identifying your customer segments. It can be organizational or individual customers as well. Also keep in mind that for social startups, customers are not necessarily equal beneficiaries. A good value proposition is the foundation of a good design for your future solution. It is also the promise for the value to be delivered. Finally, the value proposition is a product, service, or experience that creates desired gains or relieves existing pains. All of these definitions should show you how important the focus on the value you want to provide is. After each activity, each new insight you gained, you have to rethink if the value proposition is still valid and iterate all other fields in the business model canvas accordingly. Now it's time to think about how you search your beneficiaries and customers. What's the type of relationship you have with your customers? Do you provide additional services after purchasing? Name all kinds of relationships and put them in the canvas. In the fourth step, you identify the channels that are easy for your beneficiaries to access. Access limitations are easily overlooked, so consider these from the beginning. You can start by asking basic questions about your beneficiaries. Are they literate? Do they use mobile technology? Do they have reliable access to electricity, public transport, or computers? Are they physically impaired? All those questions help you to find the possible channels to deliver your value proposition to the customers. Some examples are virus marketing, social media, email marketing, online events, or on-site events. In this step, think through the whole spectrum of partners: national, regional, and local authorities, NGOs, other social enterprises, business partners, banks, partners who facilitate production, exclusive suppliers, potential investors, stable customers, or multinational companies, etc. Again, all the partners you need to deliver your value proposition to your customers. The next step is to define the key activities. These are the most important tasks a company must carry out in order to fulfill its business purpose. For example, McDonald's key activity is running fast food restaurants. Microsoft's key activity is developing software. Don't forget that the key activities have to deliver the value to your customers. Social enterprises must think about their resources as inputs for the change they want to create. That is, what will be the necessary resources to create both impact and business value. Key resources could be physical or intellectual assets, workforce, capital, and so on. At this part, you need to consider all costs that are incurring to create the value you want to provide to your customers. This can be direct costs such as production, consulting, sales, or indirect costs such as administration, rent, or marketing. This is where most startups are too optimistic and underestimate their cost. Consider to discuss this part with colleagues, not to forget any major cost factors. In this last building block, you have to think about the values the different customer segments are willing to pay for and how much. Also consider how they will pay, in cash, credit, or lease. Each revenue stream may also have different pricing mechanisms, such as fixed list prices, bargaining, or auctioning. Contrary to the cost factors, most startups are too optimistic evaluating the possible revenue streams. This is also strict teamwork. Let others look over it and ask the uncomfortable questions about if this revenue will really happen as assumed. Describing the social impact of your business is not part of the business model canvas. However, it is important to understand the factors, how your actions affect the surrounding community. The social impact of your organization goes along with the value proposition. The value you provide to customers influences the social impact it has. So note down the social impact for each value proposition. At the end, this is important to explain why your idea is good for the community and why others should support it.